With the Butt Kicker Gamer 2, what you see and what you hear is what you feel. Butt Kicker. The future is feeling.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we
racing can be awesome, but it can also be kind of a free-for-all. Interestingly, auto racing faced the same problem in its earlier days. Whether it was on the back roads, the beaches, or the city streets, the racing was always fun. But there was always a certain level of chaos or danger, until some folks came along and put some order to all of this. Stuff like official racetracks, regulations about weight and equipment, and enforcement of standards. That's what gave us high-speed excitement, fast-paced action, and photo finishes. That's when racing became racing. The guys over at iRacing.com have made the same transformation in the world of sim racing. See, iRacing analyzes the performance and results of each driver in every race, so you can be sure you're always placed in races where the competition will be tight and that those reckless drivers who ruin it for us all will be kept in the pits. Not to mention that with members in over 130 countries already in their vast community, you can find races day and night, so you can always get in the action. You can even join a league of your favorite series and work your way up to one of 7 world championships, offering over $500,000 in prize money. And since updates are always automatic, you don't have to worry about software and can focus on the track. Zip up your fire suit and check out iRacing.com.
And good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Watkins Glen, here with the Blazing Pedals Xfinity Series. Tonight, we tackle the Glen for 60 laps of stage racing. Stage 1 going to end at the end of lap number 12. Stage 2 at the end of lap number 24. Then it's a race all the way to lap 60 on this 2.42 mile road course. My name is Chris, and with me as always, my good friend Rick Hammond Jr. Rick, welcome back, brother.
Thanks, man. It's good to be back. A little vacation there last week, and now I'm ready to tackle this racetrack here.
Well, it's gonna be a lot of fun. 7 different corners here tonight on this road course, Watkins Glen, and it is going to be a blast. We've been watching practice for a good portion of it. The cars seem like they might be a little bit loose, at least at the beginning of the run. We'll see what happens as the run continues on past let's say past lap 7 or so, because that's what about these guys are doing, 7-8 laps at a clip, and then they'll come in and get tires or fuel or whatever they have to do, sometimes a new car, depending on how their practice session is going. And that's just the way it's been. On top of the speed chart here tonight so far, it has been Jamie Walker, Cody Moore, and James Miller as the top 3. Matt Gruenberg out there, last week's winner, who made it number 9 last week, is running 5th in the speed charts. Let's go ahead and take a look in on the points as they sit right now. And we do have Matt Gruenberg with his 9 wins, his 14 top 5s, his 16 top 10s on the top of the speed charts. Dalton Kilroe right behind him. Derek Paulson, Jamie Walker, and Taylor the Butcher Benjamin in the top 5. Then it's going to be John Perkins, Brian Dees, Rick Thompson, Cody Moore, and Corey Sherman as your top 10. We'll take you down to 16 because, well, that's where we're heading here. Dalton Tucker, Josh Sexton, Josh Klinger, Dave Seats, Matt Hackathorn, and Jordan McAvoy are the top 16 in points as of tonight coming into this race. The reason why that's important, because in just a few short weeks, we start the round of 16. The playoffs are around the corner tonight.
That's right, Chris. Yeah, exactly. I mean, after tonight, we only have 3 races left. Of course, we are at Watkins Glen. The 26th of September, we head over to Dover. Then October 3rd, we're in Daytona. And then October 10th, Darlington. And Darlington, that's going to be a pretty cool race that I'm pretty excited for, to see some of the cool paint jobs that these cars are going to come out with. But that is the end of the regular season. So, only 3 weeks left for you to get as many points as you possibly can, make those moves that you have to make, and to secure it. Because, like you said, October 17th, starting in Richmond, is the first race of the round of 16.
Yeah, absolutely. It is coming, and it is coming in a hurry. We have some live cameras out there kind of started the show with one, but we're going to go through them real quick here as qualifying starts to begin. We've got Brian Gap Finder, the Soul Stealer D's, running in his number 17 tonight. The 41 of Dalton Kilrow running in car camera, along with Ian Habiak, who's not really sitting there right now, but trust me, he'll be there soon. We've got Mr. and Mrs. Corey Sherman sitting in their respective seats, ready to go. Rick Thompson joining us from the RV. Make sure to check that out over on Instagram. Where to next underscore RN. Of course, each word there with an underscore. We've got the guy out of Penn State. It's Doc Butcher. Doc Butcher running out of Penn State. Terry Foster, another driver who, well, he's not there right now, but he will be. He will be.
I think he went to go get a knife to open up another box.
Another box of taffy. That's very, very possible. He did say he had an extra box ready to go, and we are ready to go around this 2.4 2-mile track here for qualifying. We'll start off with last season's champion, the number 41. That's Dalton Kilrow.
Dalton's been pretty good in practice, Chris, there. So we'll see what happens, see what he can do as the warm-up lap is complete now. So now he's on the clock.
We're going to have the track map up in the top right-hand side of the screen all night long, so you can pick out where your favorite driver is on the track.
I think so, Michael. I think what he did, I think he remembered that he had some in the truck still.
He had a fresh box, unopened box to his right-hand side. He had an open box to his left-hand side. I can't believe that he had to go get more, but it's possible. Anything is possible. Dalton Kilrow trying to get past lap number 1 here. During qualifying, it's going to be 2 laps. Single car qualifying here at Watkins Glen. And the driver out of 5 Kings Motorsports. Looks like he did not have a clean run. Did not take that first lap, Rick. Oh, there it is. Now it shows up. Yep, now it does. A 1:14.79. Meanwhile, Jamie Walker up top. How about the Soul Stealer? The Marvel Studios Chevy Camaro, driven by Brian Dees. The Soul Stealer out there looking to try and do a little bit better than he did his first lap, which was a pretty strong lap, in fact. Good enough for 6th spot right now, as James Miller takes over the top spot from Jamie Walker. Last time we were on a road course, Team AV took 1, 2, 3. We're going to see if they can do it again here tonight.
Well, right now, Walker's the only guy who is close enough to do something there for Miller. Of course, Walker sitting in second place, as you said, Chris, with a 1:13.99. And James Miller, 1:13.96. So very, very close there for those two drivers.
Yeah, it's look, road courses, when you're talking about a bunch of oval guys, typically are pretty close. We're going to see if that continues on here tonight. So Brian D is going to hold on to that 6th fastest position. Get car number up on that map so we can see that right. Josh Klinger, we're going to follow him around the track. And Klinger, after his second lap, going to be 5th quickest. Sam Baumgarten right behind him in 6th. Kyle Wellman in the 42 out there. See what Wellman's able to do. Actually, it looks like he's already run his 2. So right now being shown in the 8th spot, Dave Seats is in the middle of his second lap. Let's go ahead and take a peek in on him. Rick, you alluded to the paint scheme during practice. You weren't here to see it last week, but man, I knew that would be right up your alley.
No, I mean, I did watch last week, Chris. It was kind of hard at the campground. Of course, I didn't bring a laptop or anything with me, so I was trying to watch it on my phone as I was sitting out by the fire. And you know how cell phones are. They're not quite as big as the old eyes need, but it was still a good race. And yeah, I kind of missed that. And Dave Seats, I mean, as always, Chris and I always talk about your Autism Speaks car and how we like that. But this one, Chris knows it's near and dear to my heart. So it's pretty cool to see Seats still racing that this week for me.
On board with the Ford Mustang. Seats currently in 9th. Will he do better on his second lap? And yes, he does. All the way up to 6th spot with a 1:14.669. Great lap. How about the driver of the TRJ Karting.com Ford Mustang, the 16, driven by the Hurricane, Ian Habiak. Crosses the start-finish line. Does have some damage on the front end of that car, so that was not a clean lap. So Habiak desperately needs a clean lap here to try and qualify. The only other driver on track right now, John Perkins, the driver of the number 33 Ford Mustang. So a couple of Fords out on track. 18 drivers so far have qualified. Habiak through the carousel. This is one of my favorite road courses. I have a lot of laps in on this track.
It's my favorite home track. That's all I'm going to say.
That's true, yeah. Over New York, not too far away from us. John Perkins comes in 16th quickest. And Habiak getting ready to cross the line. 18th quickest for Ian Habiak. So he got one in. That's important. John Perkins on his second one, and Brad Collins comes out on a track. Lots of qualifying still to go. 10-minute qualifying session here because it is a road course. Takes a little bit longer to get around these things. John Perkins going to set up for that sharp left-hand turn. The second from last turn before he crossed the start-finish line. Nicely played there. And then the slow right-hander to put him on the front stretch. Across the line, John Perkins goes. And 16th is where he's going to stay. Could not beat his first lap time. Brad Collins on track. The Speed Mafia, number 22. Of Brad Collins. Getting ready to start his first hot lap. And so far, nobody's been able to touch James Miller's 113.96. Collins rolling through the S's. And that quick right hand, left hand chicane. Well, right, left, right, actually. Right before the carousel. That's a make or break spot right there. If you don't hit it right, you lose a bunch of time. The carousel is the same. You cannot over push the car through the carousel. It'll spin.
And that's something that's very easy to do too.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely. One of the fastest parts of the racetrack, that long straightaway before that left-hand turn. Brad Collins downshifted a couple of times to get it ready to go into that left-hand turn. Now the right hand. And back onto the front stretch. Let's see where he's going to cross that line. Looked like a pretty good lap and good enough for 20th. And I think that we are done with the qualifying. Well, that means there's only one more thing to do, and that's to grid these guys up. Starting on the pole tonight, he's a driver that hails from Canada. It's the 09 James Miller. To his outside, it's going to be the 88 of Jamie Walker. Inside row number 2 out of Lost Cause Motorsports, it's going to be the 24 of Cody Moore. And to his outside, the 53 Speed Mafia machine driven by Sam Baumgarten. Starting in the 5th spot tonight out of 5 Kings Motorsports, it's the 41 of Dalton Kilrow. And to his outside, it's going to be Dave Seats, the driver of the 14 Limitless Motorsports machine. Starting in the 7th spot tonight out of Oceanside Cleaners Racing, it's the number 20 of Josh Klinger. And to his outside, starting in 8th, it's the S&M Motorsports number 17 of Brian Dees. The 42 Racing number 42, driven by Kyle Wellman, is going to start in the 9th spot. And Doc Butcher in his number 10 going to pick up the 10th spot. Out of TNA Motorsports, it's going to be the number 3 of Corey Sherman starting in 11th position. And to his outside, it's going to be the 66 from Team AV. It's Jordan McAvoy. Starting in the 13th spot, also out of Team AV, it's going to be the 98 of Jeffrey Fisher. And to his outside, the MFRD number 6, painted by Mariel, driven by Derek Polson. Starting in the 14th spot, the Speed Mafia machine of Rick Thompson. That 76 going to start in the 15th position. And Rick starting in 16th tonight, it's going to be the Speed Mafia's number 33. It's going to be John Perkins.
And then starting in 17th position is going to be the 28 of Mike Hamlin. Next to him is the TRJ Karting number 16 of Ian Habiak in 18th. 19th is going to be the 5 of Corey Rutherford. And in 20th is going to be the 22 of Brad Collins. Amanda Sherman qualified her 8 in 21st position. And next to her is going to be the 54, Matt Grunberg. I heard that Amanda doesn't like it when she has to race Matt, but Matt's keeping on doing what he's doing. Aaron Bach over the teammate of Amanda Sherman, going to be right behind her in 23rd position in his 44 machine, with Fred Thompson in his Speed Mafia number 46, going to be starting in 24th. Josh Sexton qualified his 51 out of 5 Kings Motorsports in 25th, with Randy McAvoy in his 61 Team AV, going to be starting in 26. Matt Hackathorn in his 84, going to be 27th, with new driver Jason Raymond out of 5 Kings in his 31, going to be starting in 28th. Joshua Rutherford qualified that work in progress number 55 in 29th, with Terry the Tappy Man Foster with his 86 in 30th. And rounding out that field, Chris, going to be the 31 position. It's going to be the 5 Kings Motorsports number 4 of Tanner Marr.
All right, well, that is everybody. You see on the track map, everybody nice and close together. And I promise you, that is not going to be the way it stays here on a road course. Kyle Wellman looks like he is still on pit road, in fact. Formation lap ready to go, or rather on the way. James Miller and Jamie Walker going to fight it out into turn number 1 here in just a moment, as the pace car for tonight, the Porsche 911 or 930. I think it's a 930. We'll go with that. Leads the way. Pace car about to drop off. He does. And here we go. Green flag racing here for the Blazing Pedals. You get on the throttle just long enough to get down to turn number 1. They're side by side on that right-hand corner. Walker takes it up onto the oh crap lane. Oh, we got him going around already. It's Derek Paulson goes around. Paulson has to get it going. Oh, he took out a couple others. The 54, Matt Gruenberg. The 33, John Perkins. The 28 of Mike Hamlin. And Kyle Wellman may have been the most intelligent driver out there, starting on pit road. Out front, though, James Miller leading the way. Cody Moore in second. Sam Baumgarten holding on to third, and Jamie Walker all the way back to the fourth spot here as we're about halfway through the first lap. Miller with a sizable lead already here over Cody Moore. 1.6 second lead he has. And we saw this the last time we were on a road course, Rick. James Miller, very, very quick on these road courses.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, that's exactly what he did last time that we went to a road course, Chris. And, you know, he led quite a bit of laps until, you know, Jamie Walker worked his way up through and then had some issues. And road course racing, it's fun. You can really tell, you know, the drivers who dabble in a couple different, you know, types of racing on iRacing.
And let's go ahead and take you into the cockpit of Sam Baumgarten, currently running in the third spot, trying to chase down Cody Moore for the second position here on lap 2. Tires are now just starting to really warm up and start to get a little sticky. And is something else to watch out for here. Tires will be your best friend and or your worst nightmare. Kyle Wellman having a hard time getting it going though. I know he started off in pit road, Rick, but Wellman already being scored a couple laps down for some reason.
I'm not sure if he went into, I'm trying to look here. He did go down pit road, Chris, so maybe to pick some of the issues from the earlier contact, maybe?
Yeah, that makes sense. That contact, of course, would have happened here on turn 1. Now into the cockpit of Cody Moore. And you see the distance between him and James Miller. Miller starting to get very small out of the windshield of Cody Moore.
I mean, this early in the race, I mean, really what you got to do is just find your marks, make sure you try to hit them lap after lap, let those tires warm up, Chris. You know, you don't want the leader to get too far ahead, but right now, James Miller is knocking on that 2-second gap right now. Yeah,
it really is. And well, a lot like you just said, Rick, the biggest thing about road racing though, race the track, not the cars. If you race the track, you're going to end up going a little bit quicker than if you're trying to overdrive the car. If you overdrive the car, it's going to be lights out. You're going to spin.
Oh, yeah.
Jamie Walker right on the back door of Sam Baumgarten now. Walker trying to get back up to the third spot. He is working the back door of the 53. As they go down that short front stretch, they get a little bit of speed there. Heading into turn number 1, have to get on the brakes and downshift a couple of times. The drivers have a lot of control. We're going to keep it down onto the rumble strips. As the tires start to wear, they're going to start going right past them. That huge overdrive section. Last season's champion Dalton Kilroe sitting in the 5th spot, trying to catch up to Jamie Walker. Kilroe right where he started here tonight in the 5th position.
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking down through, Chris. Right now, the biggest mover sitting in 17th position. That's the 84, Matt Hackathorn, up 10 positions since the drop of the green flag. And of course, Hackathorn able to get through that little issue there with Paulson. It really helped him out a little bit.
Yeah, Derek Paulson was able to continue. And we'll check in on damage with him in just a moment.
Ooh, he just
yeah, I say that, but he had an off track and decided enough was enough. He took it away. Let's go back and take a look and see what happened to Derek Paulson, the driver of the Mariel, number 6 out of MFRD. You can see the damage on the right rear of that as he's following the 8 car, and through the S's just a little too much. And around he goes. He nosed in to the barricade, and it's all done from there. So Derek Polson, three-time winner here this season, sitting third in points, not having the start to this race that he needed.
No, not at all. I mean, still in the pits, the six getting some repairs done, it looks like, but he might be in there for a while, Chris. That was a pretty hard hit right into the front of the car.
Another really good mover here so far. It's the number 4. That cotton candy butt kicker machine is up 11 spots right now, just losing one. So make it 10. He loses one to Matt Gruenberg as the 54 goes around on the inside right before the carousel. Take a look right back up here to the third spot. That's the 53 of Sam Baumgarten. He's just ahead of Jamie Walker.
Yeah, he's got Walker all over his back bumper right now.
Now, Walker is within striking distance, but giving up enough room in case something were to happen to the 53. You see the close up there in the carousel, or in the bus stop. And then into the carousel. The 88 was able to get in much better. The 53 was able to drive out a little bit quicker.
Well, already we're halfway through stage number 1, Chris. 7 more laps at the end of lap 12. Is when the end of stage number 1, and I have a feeling that there's going to be some drivers that will be getting some damage repaired, make sure there's enough Sunoco racing fuel in that thing. A couple of drivers might take tires. I don't know. It's kind of early still.
Yeah, 12 laps. And man, it's going to be tough here tonight. I don't think anybody's going to take tires in the first stage. Would be my thought. Second stage, sure. First stage, I'm not sure about. Nonetheless, James Miller leading the way. The 09 machine has almost a 3-second lead.
Ooh, Jamie Walker finally gets around Baumgarten.
Yes, he does. Miller over Cody Moore, then James Miller. Baumgarten sits in the 4th spot. The 41, last season's champion, Dalton Kilroe, hanging on to the 5th spot. Kilroe this season has 4 race wins. Would like to make it number 5, but right now stuck back in that 5th spot.
Right behind Kilroe, Dave Seats hanging on to that 6th position in his 14 machine. Right behind Seats, get the 20 of Josh Klinger, the Soul Stealer, and his 17 sitting in 8th, right where those guys started this race. Right behind the Soul Stealer, Corey Sherman up 2 positions already in 9th place. And his Savage Edge number 3.
Yeah, look who's right behind him. Rounding out the top 10, it's the 98 of Jeff Fisher. So Fisher doing a great job here tonight. He's up 3 spots into the top 10. Trying to track down the 3 of Corey Sherman. We had another live camera join us, Rick. I didn't even catch it until just now. How about it, Cody Moore? Boy, is he focused or what? He's got the tongue out. He is ultra focused in that 24. Cody Moore, no slouch when it comes to road racing. And right now, proving it out here as he sits in the 2nd spot.
The determination's definitely there for the 24.
Yeah, it really is. Let's go ahead and bring him on screen. He's going to get a chapped lip if he keeps that up. How do I say this nicely, Rick? It kind of looks like my dog when I'm driving down the road and he's in the car when I put my window down. All right. Anyway. Good job out there, Cody. James Miller holding on to a 3.4 second lead. It's growing as Miller continues to dominate, and he has since lap 1. It actually goes back further than that. I mean, he's the pole sitter tonight, so since qualifying, he's been going. Like Team AV, Toyota Supra. No Tim Hortons on the car, Rick.
I know, which is good. Because I still haven't received my my shipment yet.
Bring on the donuts, eh?
Speaking of donuts, we had some really good donuts when we were up in Maine this past week, I should say. A little place called Cafe 64, all homemade, man. Oh, blueberry muffins were good. The cinnamon rolls were perfect. They weren't super overly sweet.
Local cautions only here tonight, so the race will not stop except for at the end of stage 1 and the end of stage 2. Otherwise, it's going to be overall green flag racing all the way.
We already got a couple of drivers heading into the pits. Matt Grunberg in the pits.
Yeah, it may not be the worst idea. I mean, it looks like these guys are going to be able to get the 12 laps in without coming down. But if you can start up closer to the front, which is probably what the plan is, I would say that's not a bad idea. Grunberg and teammate Matt Hackathorn both on pit road. Working lap 11 right now is James Miller, Cody Moore, Jamie Walker, your top 3, and Miller leading the way. The gap 3.5 seconds as he goes through the bus stop and enters into the carousel. Fred Thompson had a little whoopsie, but he corrects it, gets himself back on track. Ian Habiak up 5 spots into the 13th position. A lot of focus coming out of the Hurricanes webcam. We'll get to you that in, well, maybe next stage. Just trust me, it's there. And one more lap for James Miller to win stage number 1. This could be a huge points night here for James Miller. Right now, sitting in the 23rd spot in points is Miller, and that is no way reflective of the season that he's had when he's been here. 4 top 5s, 5 top 10s, and he's missed 6 races. That's pretty strong.
No, he's got tonight. He's got 3 more races after tonight to make up some of that.
Yeah, I think he's going to try. And the way tonight's going so far, it's looking pretty good for Miller. Miller hard into the left-hand turn. And Miller's about to win stage number 1. And James Miller crosses the start-finish line. He's going to be our stage 1 winner here tonight. Just waiting on the caution flag to come out. There it is. As Miller enters into turn 1 at a much slower pace than he would have. James Miller, our stage 1 winner. Well, this race, like every race here for the Blazing Pedal, is brought to you by TRJKarting.com. Make sure you check them out. TRJKarting.com. You can also visit them on Facebook and say hi to Tim from Chris and Rick. Let them know that we sent you. Remember, they have a dedicated spot for sim racers over there as well on TRJKarting.com. Also, don't forget to check out Butt Kicker. And if you do, and you purchase one, use code BLAZING to receive 20% off from your order with Butt Kicker. And of course, let's not forget our good friend out there in chat, Michael Falk, who is just one of the best painters you're going to find. If he has time to paint you one, make sure you get him to, because my goodness, they are good.
Definitely will not be disappointed, that's for sure.
All right, so they have to go around one more time now that they finally caught the pace car. Or have they? I don't even know, Rick. It's just, oh, there it is. I see it. Hello, Porsche.
That's one darn thing, Chris. I mean, normally drivers, once the stage caution comes out, you know, that pace car will pull out and meet you. But here, and on any road course, it will wait there until that lap is totally complete. So you got to go around again.
And this is where you start hoping and praying you got enough fuel to make it all the way.
Exactly.
With that many drivers out, I'm going to go ahead and say it's not going to be a problem. All right. Long yellow flag here at Watkins Glen. We're going to step away for just a moment. When we come back, it's going to be stage number 2 live here on the Turn 3 Racing Network. And we're back live here on the Turn 3 Racing Network. We have a new race leader. We kind of talked about that as a possibility before we went to commercial break, but Matt Gruenberg and Matt Hackathorn have taken over spots 1 and 2 by virtue of coming down pit road a little bit early. They were further back in the field, so nothing to lose, and it really actually gave them plenty to gain here, Rick, as they're running 1 and 2, with James Miller running in 3rd.
Exactly, and you did, Chris. You said that it's going to work out perfect for him, and that's exactly what it did. I mean, we knew that everybody else had to come down at least for fuel. And just looking here, that's pretty much what it looks like, what everybody did. But yeah, Matt Grunberg, and that's going to be tough. I mean, we saw this. I mean, Team AV, very good on road courses, Chris.
Yeah, well, the other side of that is right now there's only 9 laps to go before we go under caution again for the end of stage number 2. So fuel is definitely not going to be an issue for these guys. It was a good move to try and get some more points for Matt Gruenberg, Matt Hackathorn as well. So a very good strategy out of Team AV right there. Matt Hackathorn right now being scored in the 15th point position, which means he is on the cusp of that 16th. So every point for him tonight matters. The cars line up in columns of 2. We're getting ready to go back under the green flag. Just 1 lap more before the safety car pulls down pit road. That's right, Hackathorn. I said columns of 2, not single file. Good job. Love it when these guys
he
listen.
dropped his NOS. Yeah, he dropped his NOS can. He's looking for it.
It's rolling around the pan of the car. I can't get it. Can I take my seatbelts off to get it, sir? No. Okay. A lot of good looking cars out there tonight, and man, it's a lot of fun. Derek Paulson looks like he has unfortunately had to call it a night. So Paulson loads it up on the hauler. Well, yeah, we're going to say he loaded it up on the hauler. He may be back, but he's been on pit road for almost 17 minutes. I don't expect him to be back out.
Yeah, a lot of damage there to the 6.
Just 2 more turns, then the safety car is going to take a hard right-hand turn down pit road. We're going to send these cars back under the green flag with Matt Gruenberg, Matt Hackathorn, your front row. Hackathorn is actually going to be on the inside. And I wonder if that is a team choice to try and get him into the lead.
Very well could be.
A lot of strategy here in the late goings of this season, and I'm loving every minute of it. Pace starts to quicken as we go under the green flag, and that idea I had, Rick, that's out the door. Hackathorn a little slow on that restart. James Miller, James Miller loose in front of the 88 of Walker. Hackathorn goes back. Corey Sherman hard into the wall off from turn number 1. Oh, that is going to ruin his night, as he is just now getting it back out on track. Let's go back and take a look at that one. It's always turn 1. It gets you every time. Corey Sherman, you see him there on the inside lane. And he and Klinger, yeah, Josh Klinger, get involved. And we'll go back live racing. So Corey Sherman has a lot of ground to make up. Top running member of the TNA clan. Aaron Bockover up 9 spots into the 14th position. Matt Gruenberg leading the way. James Miller in second. Jamie Walker third. Dolan Kilrow up 1 spot into 4th. Sam Baumgarten right behind him. Then it's Cody Moore and Dave Seats. Jeff Fisher, Doc Butcher, and Rick Thompson round out the top 10. Well, we saw what Miller was able to do in stage 1. Will he be able to duplicate it? Will he be able to catch Matt Gruenberg now that Gruenberg has a bunch of fresh air in front of him? We're going to find out here in this segment. And it's going to go very quickly, Rick. Already we're on lap 18 at the end of lap 24, just 6 laps away. We're going to fall back under the yellow flag.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. I mean, now we're going to see, and Miller's going to be able to see too. I mean, I know these guys are teammates, but, you know, we already know Gruenberg, man, he's already got 9, like you said. He doesn't really need it. I mean, points help.
It's not a matter of need. It's a matter of come and beat me. Even for a teammate, come and beat me.
Exactly.
We got more smoke going off out back.
Rick Thompson.
Rick Thompson having problems. We'll go back and take a peek at that one. Where to next? Unfortunately, I believe it was the inside retaining wall. He's running around with Josh Klinger. And I believe that was netcode right there, but the 76 goes around, stays off the wall, so no damage for Rick Thompson, but gonna lose a bunch of time. Well, Matt Gruenberg out front by 1.4 seconds. James Miller, who led the entire first stage, trying to catch him. And unfortunately, it looks like Fred Thompson may also be thinking about loading it into the trailer as he sits on pit road. And here comes James Miller. Miller starting to close the gap. It's down to about a second.
Miller's hitting some really good lap times right now, though, Chris. His last lap, 1 minute 13.98 seconds. And to put that into perspective, the 54, Matt Gruenberg, who's leading this race right now, his last lap was 1 minute 14 seconds, 0.44.
Yeah. About a half a second difference is what it is. And it's showing up on track. Miller very consistent on these road courses. And again, we saw this the last time when we were at Sonoma. Josh Sexton having some problems. Let's go back and take a peek. We're watching the 51 of Josh Sexton.
Ooh.
Already has quite a bit of damage on that car, and now he has a little bit more. There's some cars trying to get around, and they do. Kyle Wellman also having a problem. So Wellman, who thought, yeah, I'll start in the pits and try and stay away from everybody. Good idea in theory. Not happening for the young man out of Vermont. James Miller just a half a second behind teammate Matt Gruenberg. And he's doing it with consistent lap times. As in consistently faster than our leader, Matt Gruenberg. Oh, big news. Sam Baumgarten having problems. Sam back down to the 8th spot, so back on track, but Sam Baumgarten having a big issue. As we've got a couple more laps to go. Let's go back and see what happened to Sam. heading down into turn number 1. And Cody Moore was already there. He was on the inside. Sam didn't get the message from his spotter. And around he goes. Back up front we go. James Miller trying to track down Matt Gruenberg. He's got 2 laps to do it as they cross the start-finish line.
The gap has closed in a little bit.
Oh, yes, it has. Can James Miller take over the top spot from his teammate and secure up the stage points here tonight? He's got about a lap and a half to do it. Miller looking on the inside. Couldn't pull the trigger, didn't want to. Backs it down just a little bit, but the 09, it does look, Rick, that he is faster than the 54 here tonight. On the carousel, he's right on that yellow line and able to get a good bite off. James Miller looking for the race lead. Now, setting himself up, trying to set himself up for the inside. Couldn't do it. Miller trying to find it again to the inside. Couldn't do it. Miller desperately searching for a way around the 54 to try and win stage number 2. Terry Foster bringing it back out of pit road. James Miller with less than a lap to try and figure out how to get around his teammate, Matt Gruenberg.
He's still digging. He just hasn't been able to do it quite yet. Maybe he doesn't want it. Maybe he wants... I don't know.
Oh, no, he wants to.
He's running hard. He's running hard.
He wants to. I think he's going to run out of time, though. Gruenberg running exactly where Miller wants to. And this could be the right here. If Miller can set him up to the inside, and he's trying. James Miller is trying, couldn't get there. So Gruenberg going to hit this left-hander all by himself. James Miller was looking. Oh, he's still looking out to the inside. James Miller and teammate Matt Gruenberg side by side coming to the line. It's a drag race for stage number 2, and Matt Gruenberg is going to win it. Wow.
Wow.
Matt Gruenberg had his hands full of James Miller. So congratulations to the 54 for bringing home stage number 2, and what a run that was. Matt Gruenberg, the 54, took an early pit stop to give himself position, and man, did that work out for him. Matt Hackathorn was on the same pit strategy, Rick, but unfortunately couldn't hold on to the top spot as he fell back to 22nd from second on that restart.
Yeah, that was big there for Hackathorn.
Stage 2 complete. We're going to step away, as we know we have a long time to go before we see that green flag again. But when we do, it is going to be a race to the finish all the way to lap 60. Don't you dare go away, because we're live here on the Turn 3 Racing Network.
big time problems with that motor, buddy. Hey, just between you and me, the idea is to avoid the other cars. Congratulations! You just set the sport back 30 years with that move. That move will put you in the Hall of Shame. You keep doing stuff like that and we're gonna lose our sponsor. Looks like that's it for us today. Now I know why you got canned by your old team. It's over. We can't fix that damage. You'll need a tow back to pit lane, press and hold your reset button, and we'll come and get you.
TRJKarting.com is your #1 online source for karting components, engines, and safety gear. They have a huge selection for the novice to the professional and a dedicated section for sim racers. No matter how you do it, your desire and passion to go fast fuels them. Their focus is to put their customers into victory lane. Make sure you check them out at TRJKarting.com and give them a like on Facebook.
Please make sure you do. And remember, they do have a dedicated spot for sim racers. So if you're a sim racer and you're in need of a set of gloves or a pair of shoes or just some general apparel, make sure you check out Tim. He is the guy to see. All right, now heading into the formation lap for the final stage here. And we've got some changes abound. We've got James Miller up front, along with Aaron Bockover. Matt Gruenberg with Jamie Walker with row 2. Row 3 is going to be Dalton Kilroe, Cody Moore. Jeff Fisher, Dave Seats, row 4. Row 5 is going to be Doc Butcher and Tanner Marr. The Cotton Candy Machine up 21 spots, seconded only to Aaron Bockover. It's going to be a battle from lap 29 all the way to lap 60. Expect at least one pit stop along the way, although these guys do have 2 more sets of tires for the most part.
Yeah, I've seen maybe a couple drivers that might have taken tires there, Chris, but not too many.
Yeah, it's going to be very interesting to see what kind of strategies kind of get picked up here along the way. Got 4 drivers. It looks like 4 drivers not on the lead lap. Fred Thompson, Terry Foster, Jordan McAvoy, and of course Derek Paulson, who was involved early on in a crash that unfortunately he could not see his way back out on track with. Early top 5 candidate Sam Baumgarten all the way back to the 15th spot right now, so he's got a lot of ground to make up. Looks like Fred Thompson is out there, and bless a hood, so there is some damaged cars out there.
Oh, there definitely is.
Pace car about to come down pit road to send these guys off for the final 31 laps here at the Watkins Glen. Safety car going to take that hard right-hand turn. Now we wait for the green flag. Miller, Bockover, green flag is out. Who's going to win down to turn number 1? And it's going to be Bockover getting there first. James Miller sneaks it in. Here comes our stage 2 winner, the 54. Oh, Miller already takes the race lead. Here comes the 88, Jamie Walker. looking for second spot. The 41 on the inside of Gruenberg. Wow, what a change right off the bat. These guys on fresh tires, they got to be careful. That's all I'm going to say.
Got to give those things a few laps to warm up, because if you don't, well, you pull a Rick.
There was a whole series dedicated to that.
There was.
But right now, James Miller leading the way. Jamie Walker trying to catch him, much like the entire stage one. Aaron Bockover trying to hold on to that third position in the 44, but here comes the 41. Dalton Kilroe, no love lost here as they enter turn number 1. Dalton gives plenty of room, and they continue racing up the hill now. And the 44 goes down a spot. So Kilroe back up into the third spot here tonight. And Cody Moore looking in the 24. Moore has Gruenberg right on the back bumper. Aaron Bockover is busy. Cody Moore takes it to the inside. Here comes Matt Gruenberg in the 54. Dave Seats is right there. Jeffrey Fisher trying to make some moves. On the inside of Dave Seats. Now on the straightaway, he takes a back seat to Seats. Is that right? Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. Man, how long is Aaron Bockover? I'm only showing that Aaron Bockover has only come down pit road once, Chris.
That's true. Way back on lap number 14. So Bockover doing his own thing out there as far as pit stops are concerned.
Well, I mean, he's ran half the race with only one pit stop, so we'll see what happens.
Is he going to try and do it with just 2 stops? That's possible. Certainly possible. I mean, if he comes down to say around lap 40 or so, boy, is he going to be in the catbird seat.
Yeah, he is.
Right now, though, speaking of catbird seat, it's James Miller leading the way. He's got Jamie Walker biting at the heels. Dalton Kilroe in the third spot. Kilroe, last season's champion, up 2 positions since the drop of the green flag. Biggest mover of the race so far. How about that? It's the Ford machine. The butt kicker out of MF Racing Designs. It's Tanner Marr. Jeffrey Fisher had a little excursion into the grass, but he finds himself back on the pavement. And down into turn number 1 they go. This section of the track is probably one of my favorite parts. It's an uphill, right-hander, left-hander. And boy, is that a lot of fun. And
I mean, I'm not very good with road courses, but this is definitely one of my favorites.
Yeah.
This and Daytona Road.
Well, we certainly have enough laps on Daytona Road.
We sure do.
James Miller getting a mirror full of the white, red, and green car driven by Jamie Walker. In stage 1, James Miller was able to pull away. Right now, Walker able to hold course. Cody Moore had a little bit of a slip coming out of that sharp right-hander. Not going to lose much time, though, to Matt Gruenberg, who's right behind him. The 51, Josh Sexton, having a little excursion off the track. Cody Moore being chased down by Matt Gruenberg, and Moore not giving an inch. Walker really getting to the back bumper of the 09 through a couple of those corners, but then Miller able to pull away on the straightaways. That's telling me that Miller and Jimmy Walker have different braking points. And we have last season's champion, the 41, Dalton Kilroy, being shown on the bottom left-hand side of your screen as the 44 brings it down pit road. So Aaron Bockover is going to try something a little bit different tonight. As Dalton Kilroy holds on that third spot in the number 41. Ian Habiak, the Hurricane, driver of the number 16 Ford Mustang TRJ Karting.com machine, running in the 17th spot. And there's a little bit of that focus that I was talking about. Ahead of him, driving in the 7th spot, it's going to be Doc Butcher, live out of Penn State.
You know, speaking of, still going on, Chris, and live, Cody Moore only down one position so far from the start of the race, sitting in 4th right now. And we took a peek in, and he's still, what's the word I'm looking for? Engaged in his driving. I mean, I've been watching him quite a bit. I mean, you see, like Brian Dees right now, he's moving his arms back and forth, but he's sitting kind of straight, man. Every now and then, Cody, he'll sit there and you'll see him leaning and everything else, man. He's having a good old time over there.
Well, that's what it's all about. Speaking of Brian Dees, let's bring him up. Brian D is the Soul Stealer. Driving the Marvel Studios Chevy Camaro number 17. And the Soul Stealer hasn't gotten his fill yet here tonight. Oh, that's a very good question, Shelly. Let's take a watch here. I'm going to see if we can answer that for you. We're going to get rid of that. We're going to go to our race leader, because I can't think of anybody better to show us. And we'll bring it up on screen. So this is not the fastest section of the track. It's the front stretch. But we'll have a good idea. So at the end of the front stretch, about 145 miles an hour into that turn 1, all the way down to 80 miles an hour, make it 71 at the apex. And then we build some speed going up the hill, getting ready for that left-hander. Don't have to take your foot off the throttle too much for that. And all the way onto this big stretch right before the bus stop. 167, 170, 170. And I believe that's the fastest part of the track. That could be your answer right there. We got one more straightaway we're going to check out here right after the carousel. And again, we're doing it with our race leader because, well, he has open air in front of him. So it's the best kind of scenario for gauging the speed.
And it's been fast all night.
Yeah, down this stretch, about 157. So yeah, about 170 miles is the quickest you're going to see here. I hope that helps. So Aaron Bockover, who came down pit road a little bit on the early side, but only for his second stop, running in the 25th position with 24 laps to go. I'm believing that. I'm wondering if these other drivers would even have to stop. I don't know the answer here. I don't think they would. They all came down last on lap 26, all the lead lap drivers.
26, yeah.
Maybe they will. Oh, I don't know. That's math. I don't feel like it. 24 laps to go.
Yeah, the Robal's fun too, Mark. I agree.
I haven't actually driven it yet, so I'm kind of waiting to do that. Soon. Hashtag soon. James Miller leading the way. Jamie Walker, Dalton Kilroy, your top three. Matt Gruenberg was able to get around Cody Moore for the 4th spot. That put Cody back into the 5th spot. Dave Seats running in the 6th spot, right where he started here tonight. So an ultra great night here for Dave Seats, just running his race, his time. Doc Butcher running in the 7th spot. He's up 3 positions. Sam Baumgarten back up to the 8th position, but down 4 overall. Jeffrey Fisher up 4, and to round out the top 10, it's Rick Thompson up 5 spots. The battle between 1st and 2nd not over yet with 23 laps to go. James Miller, Jamie Walker leading the way. Dalton Kilroy sits in that 3rd spot.
Brian D is still doing a good job there, Chris. Only down 3 positions since the drop of the green flag. He's right outside that top 10 in 11th. He is trying to get to Rick Thompson right now. Matt Hackathorn worked his way back up to 12th position. Josh Klinger in his 20. He's sitting in 13th. Tanner Marr up to 14th, up 17 positions. Ian Haviuk, he's up 3. He's sitting in 15th. John Perkins in the 33. He's just kind of hanging out in 16th place where he started here. Jason Raymond in 17th, Brad Collins in 18th. Corey Sherman has rebounded back up to 19th position after that hard hit that he took there. And Kyle Wellman rounding up that top 20 right now.
I was getting back to Brian Dees for just a second. Right now, he's being scored 7th in the points. No victories, 3 top 5s, 8 top 10s for Brian Dees. And that was mostly at the beginning of the season.
Yeah.
Mid-season and on, boy, it's been awful tough here for the 17. Trying to get it back. And this would be a great way to start. A nice finish here at Watkins Glen would be a great way to kind of get some confidence back into that 17 machine.
Well, I already told him what the trick is, and he's like, no, I do wash it. He washes his shirt too much, Chris. You got to wear that thing for a week, get it all stinky.
Yeah, make it so you don't want to be in it.
Exactly.
I got you. Well, James Miller leading another one here. 21 laps to go with Jamie Walker right behind him. Matt Gruenberg starting to catch the back bumper of the 41, so Dalton Kilroy gonna have to pick it up just a little bit to try and hold on to that top 3 spot.
Yeah, we got to tell Kilroy he doesn't really have to save too much fuel here tonight.
Yeah, right? It's okay to actually push the button. Do it. Come on, Dalton. Push the accelerator pedal down. James Miller hasn't had a problem doing that, as he won stage number 1, and boy, it was close for stage number 2. Miller up front, and he is starting to gap Jamie Walker. Now the gap right now, 2.27 seconds into turn number 1. So Walker starting to slip back just a little bit. Don't tell him that, though, as I was saying that, and started building up more speed and closed it just a little bit. Miller starts to extend it back out. So a seesaw game here between 1 and 2. Into the bus stop. so smooth as Miller getting through that bus stop. That is where you can pick up and lose a bunch of time. Miller doing it perfectly.
That's the thing. Once you get your rhythm, Chris, I mean, if you can hang on to that rhythm throughout the whole race, it's kind of night that Miller is having right now. But if you get distracted just once, that's a bad time.
Yeah, absolutely. Aaron Bockover. Rick, we saw him come down pit road, kind of off sequence with everybody else. Right now being scored in the 23rd spot. So we're still a little early yet to see if his strategy is going to work. The car in front of him, the 31, Jason Raymond, is the one that he is trying to tackle. And then 2 cars in front, teammate Amanda Sherman. Sherman, I saw her practicing along with Jamie Walker earlier on, and she was actually choosing the outside every now and again. So a little bit more confidence coming out of that 8 machine, which is great to see. Back up front, James Miller leading the way. Again, the track map in the top right hand side showing the car numbers and where they are on track.
As a driver, I wish I could see that track map when I'm racing the car too sometimes.
Oh yeah, that'd be a wicked nice advantage. Now Terry Foster, Fred Thompson, both in front of our race leader, both down at least a lap. As Terry Foster works his way around Fred Thompson. Before the race, I was talking with the Taffy man himself. And I said, who do you think's going to win tonight? He said, I don't know, but I can tell you who's not going to win, the 86. And, well, his prediction is proving true.
Good thing you didn't try to make a bet with one of us. Just saying.
Well, we talked about Amanda. Let's talk about Corey for just a second, as he has had a true up and down night. Corey Sherman. Well, you see both of them in that picture, but Corey is back up into the 17th spot after starting in 11th. He's down 6, but did have that wicked accident. Amazing the car is still going. And he's trying to catch the 22 of Brad Collins. That would be for position. You see his hands moving as he goes through the bus stop, now through the carousel.
I got to move their seats up just a little bit to the wheel just to give you some more, spots to relax a little bit.
Indeed. Well, Brian Dees is having an exciting third stage here. I saw that he had gone off track. I didn't say anything about it, but right now up 2 spots since the last time we talked to him. He's up into the top 10 in 9th position after getting around Matt Hackathorn and Josh Klinger.
I want to talk about it because then he steals your soul.
I know, and
Gotta
that
let it
is
go.
dangerous. Just dangerous.
I need it for a little while longer,
Our race leader, James Miller, continues to lead the way, and he is opening up a gap now on Jamie Walker, 1.5 seconds. And Miller coming down pit road along with Jamie Miller. This is exactly what Aaron Bockover wanted to see. All of the top drivers coming down pit road, and Bockover is going to be sitting like a pretty little duck next to the water if a lot more drivers come down pit road. Oh boy.
But will it be enough, though? That's the question.
That is a question. It's a question. I don't know. Josh Klinger, top 11 cars on pit road right now. Waiting for Tanner Marr to see what he's going to do. Tanner Marr bringing it down pit road. That's going to make 12. Corey Sherman would be the next man up. Sherman bringing it down pit road. Corey Rutherford bringing it down pit road. Sam Baumgarten stays out along with Aaron Bockover. James Miller, Jamie Walker, Dalton Kilrow back out on track, but Sam Baumgarten and Aaron Bockover are making up huge amounts of track position. Bockover up to the 7th spot, Sam Baumgarten up to 6th. Cody Moore 5th. Dave Seats 4th. Dalton Kilrow, Jamie Walker, James Miller, your top 3. Oh, that could be huge for Aaron Bockover. Wanting to take the banner desperately. Has not had a great season this year. As I'm looking for him way back in the 21st position in points. Aaron has 5 top 10 finishes this season, and that's it. So Miller, Walker, and Dalton Kilrow come down pit road, get service done to their vehicles, and head back out. Top 3 drivers took tires. Dave Seats did not. Seats sitting in the 4th spot with Cody Moore behind him with fresh tires. I want to see if fresh tires are going to make that speed just a little bit higher. We're going to find out here in just a moment. 167. So the tires aren't warmed up quite yet. Miller is a little bit slower than he was the last time we checked in with him.
I'm hearing from race control that it looks like only about 17 laps or so on fuel, Chris. So it'll be kind of interesting to see.
Oh, Jeffrey Fisher and Rick Thompson having problems as they both go around. Let's go back and find out what happened. So we're looking at Rick Thompson. Jeffrey Fisher right behind him. Thompson gets into the grass and hits the wall. And Fisher gets into the back side of him. And they both spin. Brian Dees goes through them like a football through the uprights. And so does Ian Habiak. James Miller continues to lead the way with Jamie Walker in 2nd, Dalton Kilrow in 3rd, Dave Seats in 4th with Cody Moore rounding out the top 5. Then it's Sam Baumgarten, Matt Gruenberg, Aaron Bockover, Taylor Butcher Benjamin, and Matt Hackathorn to round out the top 10. Rick, you want to know how bad the accident was that Rick Thompson just had?
How bad?
Well, let's look in on the live driver cam. You see he is sideways, really sideways. That was a hard hit.
Maybe forgot to put the stabilizer jacks down on the RV, maybe?
Maybe.
That's okay, though. He's still going. He's like, I got 13 laps left to go. Fix it later.
Jason Raymond moves over to the side for the 09 of James Miller, our race leader. Raymond in the 31. Beautiful MF Racing Designs machine. Corey Sherman was just able to get around Brad Collins for 15th spot. Right now, not the top runner for the TNA camp. James Miller with a commanding lead, almost 5 seconds as he heads into turn number 1. Make it 5 as he makes that right-hander over Jamie Walker in second spot. Couple of drivers coming off from pit road as James Miller heads up the hill and takes that left-hand turn and gets on to the fastest part of the track. Let's see where he stands now, because he is definitely pushing that car. 170 miles an hour that time by, so it's pretty equal with what we saw the last time. Well, the second to last time. No, the first time.
First time.
One of those times. We've got time. 12 laps to go. That's one stint from earlier in the race. Last time Aaron Bockover was on pit road, lap 33. But he was able to go much further than everybody else the first time. Maybe he's got 2 fuel cells in that car. We'll find out. I'm gonna hop down into the cockpit of James Miller and see how he is getting around, especially this bus stop, so smoothly. Downshifts into second gear. Right side, left side, right side. That's the way you do it. And then you really accelerate out of the corner, just like that.
He's hitting his mark so perfectly. It's not even funny right now. He's been doing it all race, too.
I'm going to stay on board for another lap with him. James Miller. We're going to cross the start-finish line, and we're going to stay with him for an entire lap here as he downshifts to go into turn number 1. Just ahead of him, Amanda Sherman. She's running in the 20th spot. Miller holding him in third gear for a little bit longer than I would have expected, but it seems to be working for him. And man, does he close up on Amanda Sherman quickly. She jumps out of the way. Now around the carousel we go.
Ten laps left.
Well, get ready to make it 9 as we're back on the front stretch with our race leader. And he crossed the start finish line just like that. It's about a lap and a half with our race leader, James Miller. Last time by, Jamie Walker a little bit quicker, about 0.4 of a second quicker than our race leader. So Walker trying to get there. The gap just under the 5-second mark. Make it 4.8. So it is starting to close. Was Walker kind of playing possum here?
Yeah, maybe saving the equipment for as long as he possibly can.
Corey Sherman running in the 14th spot. Just ahead of him, Rick Thompson. A little bit of a fun battle going on between these two just about all season long, as they've been tied up very close in the point standings. And now you see them running 13th and 14th on track. But our race leader, James Miller, is just walking the dog out there. 4.5 seconds. The gap back to Jamie Walker.
And James Miller just out there for a Sunday drive, it seems, man.
Look, when you focus on your points and you're racing the course and not other cars,
Yeah, just like we talked about.
that's exactly what you get. You are out for just a Sunday drive. Josh Klinger just ahead of our race leader. He's the 18th position driver in that number 20. And Klinger has had a couple of incidents happen around him tonight. And a little bit loose coming off from turn number 1. Gathers it back up and up the hill he goes. James Miller following. The gap back to second spot, 4.38 seconds right now. So again, that gap is starting to close in. About 7 laps to go. Walker's got to do some pretty amazing driving to try and catch him. Perkins moves down and out of the way of the 88. We haven't said it yet here tonight, but make sure you check out TNA Shop Talk tomorrow night live at 8 o'clock on Facebook. I believe they also do it on Twitch and over on Facebook as well. But TNA, or excuse me, on YouTube.
YouTube, yep.
But TNA Shop Talk tomorrow night live, 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. You'll get the drivers from the TNA camp. They usually have a guest or two on. Last week it was Jeff Fisher and Matt Gruenberg. Good to get to know those guys a little bit. I don't know if you were able to watch that one, but Jeffrey Fisher was telling us how he cut part of his steering wheel out to make it more like a GT wheel. Kind of funny. Klinger not giving up without a fight, being on the lead lap as he is staying in front of James Miller. Miller is going to have to work for it. Check in with Aaron Bockover. He is up to 16th spot, and Rick, I don't see him pitting now. 6 laps to go.
No.
Somehow he is making it last.
You know what? Last down on lap 50.
Well, Miller was able to get around Klinger. The gap 4.3 seconds. Back to Jamie Walker with 5 laps to go.
I mean, Miller's going to have to basically drive off the track there and get turned around, blow an engine
Something.
for Walker to be able to catch up. I mean, 5 laps, still a long ways to go.
Yeah, remember a lap here, 2.42 miles. So certainly a lot can happen in a lap.
Ooh.
Oh boy.
Wow.
Miller has to split the difference between Fred Thompson and Brad Collins. And he did. But every time something like that happens, the threat of being slowed down is certainly there.
You know, Miller's driving like the Mounties are coming. That's all I'm going to say.
Corey Rutherford bringing it down pit road. So Corey not able to make it the whole way. 4 laps to go. It's starting to get a little dark out there, as clouds are definitely moving in.
Yeah, it's like fall and, up here in the Northeast, man. Getting dark earlier and earlier now.
It looks like the guy that was playing possum might have been James Miller, as the gap between him and Jamie Walker has increased back up to 5.2 seconds.
Giving a little false hope, maybe?
Taking it easy on the equipment, saving a little gas. Lots of things that can be said about that. He definitely had the room, the gap between himself and Walker to do it. Taking a look in on Aaron Bockover, because the last time he was on pit road, lap 49, he should already be out of gas according to race control. And here he is. Call him Stretch from now on. I'll tell you, a 15th spot finish for Aaron Bockover. He'll be very happy with that here tonight, especially if he can keep it on the lead lap. He has had one tough season this year.
Yes. He's just waiting. I mean, he's hoping next season Charlotte's on the schedule at least 3-4 times.
Yeah.
That's what he's hoping for. Of course, you'll be heading to Charlotte in, November 14th? That's going to be the second race of the round of 12.
And shy of a victory, Aaron Bockover's hopes of getting into the round of 16 are pretty low.
Yeah, I mean, anything can happen. Can happen at Dover, and definitely anything can happen at Daytona on October 3rd. So he's still got a couple races.
He does. 2 laps to go here for James Miller, who has a heck of a lead right now. Just over 5 seconds to Jamie Walker, our second place runner. Dalton Kilroe runs in the 3rd spot. He's about 2.3 seconds behind Jamie Walker. Cody Moore in 4th. Matt Gruenberg rounds out the top 5, but all eyes on our race leader, the 09 of James Miller, who cuts it down in to the bus stop aggressively around McAvoy. And James Miller rounds through the carousel, looking for that race win. James Miller comes into tonight 23rd in points. If he can win tonight, he guarantees himself to be a part of the championship hunt here as he gets ready to take the white flag. James Miller looking for a championship contention here. Boy, is he turning it on at the right part of the season with just a few races to go. For the final time under race speed, Miller up the hill. On to the fastest part of the racetrack. And again, he just hits it the same every single time. It's exactly what you have to do here on a road course. Jamie Walker has slipped back just a little bit here under the white flag. Dalton Kilroe within about 0.5 of a second of catching Jamie Walker. But here on the final lap, James Miller looking good as he's set to take the checkered flag. James Miller just punched his ticket into the round of 16. The battle for second spot, not going to be a battle at all as Jamie Walker brings it across the line. Dalton Kilrow in third. Cody Moore, Matt Gruenberg, your top 5. And ladies and gentlemen, we have another new winner here for the Blazing Pedals this season. It's James Miller. Awesome race for James Miller. He won stage number 1. He was side by side with Matt Gruenberg at stage 2 and ended up coming in second. And then the overall winner of the night. What a great race here for Miller. We're going to step away for just a moment. When we come back, it's going to be post-race interviews. We're going to have our top 3 ready to go right after this.
With the Butt Kicker Gamer 2, what you see and what you hear is what you feel. Butt Kicker. The future is feeling.
All right, we are back live here with our top 3 finishers. And let's get a word in with our third place finisher here tonight, the driver of the number 41. It's going to be Dalton Kilrow. Dalton, Chris and Rick up in the booth. Do you have a copy?
Yes, sir.
All right, bud. Well, a third place finish, not too bad here tonight. You were up 2 spots. And, you know, road courses, there's something a little bit different about those. Let's take a ride through the 41's mind. What was the plan for tonight, and are you happy with the finish?
Well, I'm definitely happy with the finish because it's higher up in the order than I thought I'd be. The plan for tonight was just try to keep it clean and stay on track, not really have too many incidents. I messed up a little bit on a couple of those restarts and went off track just barely in the bus stop, so it wasn't a fully clean race, but I just wanted to be there at the end, and sure enough, I was. Hold on. Felt the sneeze coming. Sorry. Right there at the end, I thought with Jamie getting held up by a couple slower cars, thought I had a shot. Tried to send it on the outside of the S's, and that was not going to work. I'm just glad I didn't wreck him. But yeah, just overall strong night, and just happy I even got a top 5.
All right, bud. Well, a top 5 you did. Who do you got to thank on the side of that 41?
Got to thank Daddy-O's Barbershop, Happy Button Box, Bam Racing Videos, Phrase Energy, Butt Kicker, TRJ Karting.com. Both you and Rick and everybody else at Turn 3 for putting on awesome broadcasts, for not just for us, but for everybody else across the platform. Everybody for coming, tuning in, and Mark and Powell up in the admin booth for doing the race control, even though it was probably easy tonight since there was no cautions, and everybody else at 5 Kings Motorsports.
All right. That's the driver of the number 41. Bringing it home in 3rd spot tonight, it's Dalton Kilrow, last season's champion. And Rick, I believe you caught up with the driver of the 88.
I did. Jamie Walker, driver of the Mountain Dew Crew MF Racing Designs number 88. You got Rick Chris up in the booth. Got a copy, bro?
Yeah, I got you guys. How you doing?
I'm doing great, man. I mean, what a good night here for you. I mean, you finished right where you started. It looks like you were trying to almost catch up to the 09 of Miller, but wasn't able to do it. But give us a little rundown of the race.
Yeah, at first I was doing everything I could to, stay caught up with him. And
yeah, I mean, he had a really good race, and I mean, your race was going very well too, man. I mean, we're winding down here. Are you getting ready to start this the next round of the playoffs? We only got 3 more weeks left before that happens.
yeah, that's when the real work begins. That's where you just really got to mark the T's and dot the I's. So that's where you really gotta pay attention.
I know you're going to be able to do that, bud. I look forward to seeing what the 88 can do next week in Dover. Who do you got to thank on that machine?
And of course, MF Racing Designs. I've got the silver paint scheme on it this week, and I think I'm gonna finish it off this week with that, or this season with that. And maybe I'll bring back the Mountain Dew colors last race, but we'll see. Of course, you guys up at the booth, I can't thank you guys enough. You guys take time out of your busy week just to watch us run around, and Sam and Mark and everybody putting on TRJ or for Blazing Pedals and TRJ Karting for sponsoring the series.
Excellent, brother. Well, hey, listen, congratulations on tonight. Like I said, we look forward to seeing you next week in Dover. And until then, man, enjoy the 2nd place finish.
Thanks, guys. We'll see you next week.
And that was the driver of the number 88, bringing it home in 2nd spot tonight, Jamie Walker with his Chevy Camaro, and bringing home the race win. It is going to be the 09 of James Miller. James, it's Chris and Rick up in the booth. Do you have a copy?
Yeah, I gotcha.
Well, bud, you go from 23rd in points to a chance at the championship just like that. You got to be excited.
Well, unfortunately, I missed, I believe, too many races, which really sucks because at the time I wasn't in the best mindset, and then it came back and things were definitely way better. Like I've enjoyed my time here. I've gotten better. It's just I've been struggling with the 2nd stage to the end strategy. Never quite worked out well for me, but we're getting better at it and things are going good. But yeah, unfortunately, I don't think I'm eligible. Last I checked, I wasn't, but it's still great day.
Well, it's a great day regardless. I'll tell you, man, we've been watching the 09 just getting better and better all season long. Finally, it pays off for you here. Did you think it was going to happen at a road course?
Yeah, pretty much. Not to say it like that, but it was my best shot. But a lot of fast guys in this, especially on road courses, more than I've seen in other leagues, and it was a blast. Honestly, racing Matt there for the stage 2, I didn't expect it. I didn't expect him to keep as much speed as he had. And I was like, "Ooh, okay." Kind of had me worried for the 2nd stage.
Well,
I got a good jump.
Yeah,
off the start, and all worked well.
That 2nd stage finish was probably one of the best stage finishes of the season, and it was really cool call. But who do you got on the 09 that you need to thank tonight?
Just shout out to Team AV guys. And I know, unfortunately, most of them had a rough time tonight. I know Randy, I guess, got caught up in some of the first lap incidents. Is really unfortunate because couldn't make those laps up under caution and whatnot. And Jordan had some technical issues. And Hack had some damage, but he rallied back to 10th, so that's good. And I think Jeff got some incident or damage at the end there. It forced him out, and Matt messed up his pit stop right when it mattered. But just thanks to those guys. It's fun racing with them. Great time. Just having a ball all race. Kind of, in a weird way, helps you not focus on the race, which sometimes is what I need, to be honest. But yeah, it was great. Usually can't pull off second stage. Just kind of like Sonoma, ran out of fuel. Pulled it off today.
Yeah, you sure did, bud. It was a lot of fun to watch, and can't thank you enough for joining us up here in the booth. A lot of fun. Congratulations once again to the 09 for bringing it home in first place here tonight, and that is going to do it live from the Turn 3 Racing Network. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope you have a great week, and we'll see you again next Sunday night live right here on the Turn 3 Racing Network.